In July 2019, a seemingly routine diplomatic exchange between two world leaders ignited a firestorm of controversy that would cast a long shadow over American politics. Donald Trump, then President of the United States, engaged in a phone call with Volodymyr Zelensky, the newly elected President of Ukraine. What began as a congratulatory conversation quickly veered into troubling territory. Unbeknownst to Zelensky, the call would become a pivotal piece of evidence in the first impeachment inquiry against President Trump. At the heart of the controversy lay Trump's request for Zelensky to investigate Joe Biden, former vice president and Trump's potential rival in the 2020 presidential election. The call transcript, released amidst mounting pressure, revealed Trump urging Zelensky to look into Biden and his son Hunter, who had business dealings in Ukraine. This request, coupled with the withholding of U.S. military aid to Ukraine, raised serious concerns about a potential abuse of power. Critics accused Trump of leveraging U.S. foreign policy for personal political gain, a charge that would become a central theme throughout the impeachment proceedings. The release of the call transcript sent shockwaves through Washington and beyond. Democrats condemned Trump's actions, alleging a clear quid pro quo, the withholding of aid in exchange for dirt on a political opponent. This, they argued, constituted an impeachable offense, a betrayal of the public trust, and a threat to American democracy. Republicans, however, largely defended the president, characterizing the call as perfect and dismissing concerns about its content. They argued that there was no explicit quid pro quo, and that Trump's actions were motivated by legitimate concerns about corruption in Ukraine. Despite the partisan divide, the House of Representatives, led by Speaker Nancy Pelosi, launched a formal impeachment inquiry into President Trump's conduct. The inquiry, focusing on the Ukraine call and alleged attempts to obstruct the investigation, dominated the news cycle for weeks. Public hearings, featuring testimony from diplomats and administration officials, captivated the nation and further deepened the political chasm. As the impeachment inquiry unfolded, a chilling narrative began to take hold, that Donald Trump, through his actions, had effectively become an arm of the Kremlin. Critics pointed to Trump's consistent praise of Russian President Vladimir Putin, his dismissal of Russian interference in the 2016 election, and his apparent willingness to appease Putin on the world stage. The Ukraine scandal, they argued, was simply the latest and most egregious example of Trump's dangerous affinity for Putin. By pressuring Ukraine to investigate Biden, Trump was playing directly into Putin's hands, sowing discord among Western allies, and undermining efforts to hold Russia accountable for its aggression. The accusation that a sitting U.S. president would act in the interests of a foreign adversary sent shockwaves through the American political establishment. The Senate, then controlled by Republicans, ultimately acquitted President Trump on both articles of impeachment, abuse of power, and obstruction of Congress. However, the Ukraine scandal left an indelible mark on his presidency, further polarizing an already deeply divided nation. The accusations of corruption, abuse of power, and allegiance to a foreign adversary continued to dog Trump throughout his presidency and beyond. The scandal also had far-reaching implications for U.S.-Ukraine relations. It eroded trust between the two countries, leaving Ukraine vulnerable to further Russian aggression, as evidenced by the full-scale invasion in 2022. The events of 2019 serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of democratic institutions and the importance of upholding the rule of law. The legacy of the Trump-Ukraine scandal continues to shape American politics and foreign policy, a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of accountability.